The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And welcome back, everybody. So, big victory for Ken Paxton in Texas last night. That was the primary there against John Cornyn. Cornyn, 4-time winner before this. In other words, he has been in the Senate for 24 years. And because he opposed Trump on some of his agenda items, well, again, Trump has Irish amnesia, where you forget everything but the grudge. And if you are going to go against him, well, you better get that LinkedIn page ready and that resume updated, because you will lose. Just ask Thomas Massie in Kentucky. Just ask Bill Cassidy in Louisiana. Ask those 5 Indiana state senators who didn't want to redistrict in Indiana. And now they all got primaried and they all lost. And now, obviously, John Cornyn is no more. Ken Paxton, who is endorsed by Trump, wins easily. And by easily, we're talking by 25 points. This thing was going back and forth, 1 or 2 point race. And then Trump jumps in. And then at that point, I think I was asked by Stuart Varney on Fox, does Paxton have a chance to win? I said, he's going to win going away. It's going to be a blowout. And sure enough, that wasn't the hardest prediction to make on my part. That's certainly for sure. But I think the most astounding stat was that Paxton won the election day vote with 87% of the vote of people who showed up on election day. This is post-Trump endorsement, obviously, came out for Paxton. So he had jet fuel behind him. But now go Google what this means for the Texas Senate race, where now Paxton will go against James Telerico, because every single so-called expert political pundit is now saying this is great news for Democrats. This gives Telerico an opportunity. Yeah, you guys sang this song with Beto O'Rourke on numerous occasions, when he ran for governor, when he ran for Senate, and he lost every time. Oh, yeah, ran for president, too. The golden boy. I think he lasted 2 months. James Telerico is profoundly worse, believe it or not. And Scott Jennings explains exactly why, just in the end, in Texas, a state that Trump won by double digits, if you think that people are suddenly going to come out for a radical, weird Democrat, it's the only way to put it, weird, you got another thing coming. Cut number 7, go.
And Telerico, being popular among donors in California and New York and Massachusetts, is never going to wash off the weirdness of the gender thing, of the meat thing, of the God is non-binary, of the Bible actually, endorses abortion. All of these things, wherever you are on the issues, who talks like that? No Texan that you know actually speaks these things out loud, other than Paul. I guess tonight he's latching on, but no other Texan speaks this way.
No other Texan speaks this way, and it's true. I mean, the things that he has said. I mean, let's put it this way. I'll read you this one. It's one of my favorite quotes from Telerico. Being Christian and being pro-choice are absolutely consistent because Christianity is a feminist religion. Yeah, that's not weird. Here's another one. The one thing I want all of us to be aware of, recognize, is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6 genders. That alone, he can't win. No way. No way you get independence there. Every Republican's going to come out against this guy. With Paxton having Trump behind him, again, I'm not saying he's going to win by double digits, because obviously Senate races, people don't come out as strongly as they do during presidential, but 4 or 5 points sounds about right. Let's see. Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist? Another quote from Telerico. Oh boy. The Texas Capitol can be a hostile environment for our trans neighbors. Our office is the first in history in Texas to add pronouns to our official business cards, unquote. These things are one campaign ad after the other. Oh, here's another one. Quote, trans children are God's children made in God's own image. So God is trans. Okay. There is nothing wrong with them. Nothing at all. Except for that whole high suicide rate thing and wanting to change your gender because you hate yourself so much. There's probably something wrong with you. And that goes back to the parents, by the way. Oh, yeah. This is the best one. I have so many Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, Muslims, atheists, agnostics who are more Christ-like than some of the Christians I serve with, unquote. All right. That's your guy. That's the guy the Democrats are excited about in Texas. He will not win. Again, we save tapes around here, and I have no problem with that particular prediction. Meanwhile, another guy that Democrats are absolutely orgasmic about is Graham Platner up in Maine. We've talked about him before, the guy with the Nazi tattoo, the guy that, I don't know, supports communism. Yeah, that's a thing now these days. The guy that wants to, on day one, impeach Supreme Court justices. All right. I mean, we could go on and on. But Graham Platner has the backing of Liz Warren, AOC, Mamdani. All the people that have been calling Trump a fascist and a Nazi for years now support literally the Nazi. And that is funny. Anyway, Van Jones, by the way, weighed in on this whole Ken Paxton thing winning in Texas. I really should get to this. And Jones on election nights really just pours on, the hyperbole here. He gets all emotional. He gets sad. Thinks about what's he going to tell his kids because this person won. Well, it happened again in cut number 5. Go.
This is a bad night for America. You have a good man running against a bad man, and the bad man won. And just as a parent, that's tough. I mean,
there it is. Oh, I didn't even know he was going to go down the parent route in that clip. Oh, that's beautiful. I can predict these things in advance. This is awesome. He does this every time. He couldn't work race into it because of the white guy versus the white guy, Cornyn versus Paxton, but there you go. Meanwhile, my colleague Jesse Waters has some thoughts on the aforementioned Platner in Maine, and this is just, I don't know. You want to talk about a guy that's giving Fox News some real material to work with. He's your guy. Cut number 8, go.
Yeah, I can't really figure this out. Guy says all cops are pigs and then says black people don't tip. It's all over the place. He's a Nazi, and then he wants men and girls sports. He's an oyster farmer, but he hates lobstermen. Like, I don't get it. He's like said so much stuff. I have the Oppo sheet right here, fresh from the RNC press shop. It's thick, Jessica. I don't even have time to read it. It's just disgusting. I mean, it's even bad for me. He's like Trump. He has said so much. It's like, where do you even start?
You love Trump, though.
I do, but he hasn't said this stuff. This is bad. And I swear the man does not have a Nazi tattoo. I've never seen Trump naked, but that's what Democrats are going to have to start doing. Before a candidate runs, they're going to have to say strip. Because I got to know if you got a Nazi tattoo.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I liked the theatric beating of the RNC.
I mean, this is the thickest jacket of Oppo I've ever seen. It's 5 and it's dense. He called Jesus a zombie.
Oh.
What do you mean,
okay.
no?
I think we're good. Oh, man. And that's from the 5, by the way. All right. That's some back and forth, mostly Jesse. You hear Kaylee McEnany there as well. And then Jessica Tarloff, who is liberal, always very well prepared. I give Jessica a lot of credit on that. She doesn't walk into that show and doesn't have her facts and just in general, the counter argument, I should say, ready to go. So anyway, but that show, it is amazing to me. 4 million people plus watch that show. And it's on at 2:00 in the afternoon on the West Coast. 3:00 Mountain Time, 4:00 Central, 5:00 here. When people are working or going home from work, if you go to an office and you're still bringing in more than 4 million people, goes up against Jake Tapper, who can't even get 600,000. And that's because it's authentic. You hear that back and forth. Like Jesse genuinely was having a good time with that, right? And the people around the table, it really is like a happy hour. And the funny thing about the 5 is that it was supposed to be a summer replacement show. I want to say it was 2011. When the show debuted, because Glenn Beck ran out of advertisers. Basically, everybody boycotted his show. So then you're not bringing in advertising revenue. Well, time to go. So he and Fox parted ways. And then they just had to find a summer replacement until they could figure out who was going to host the 5:00. So they put together the show The 5, which is on at 5, Roger Ailes. And this thing, gangbusters right out of the gate. And they took 5 people that weren't, the big stars that they are now. Like Dana Perino, obviously White House press secretary. She was doing some work with Fox and Friends and, different things, but she didn't host her own show at that time. So you put Dana in there, you put Greg Gutfeld in there. Let's see. Eric Bolling was in the Jesse seat. And then Bob Beckel, who I believe passed away, he was the liberal. And then on the end was Kimberly Guilfoyle, from what I recall. So yeah, whatever, it worked. And then even though several of these people have been replaced, with the exception of Dana and Greg, it's like Alabama football. They don't, you just have to reload. It's not a matter of rebuilding. And every show is easily number one, like not even close. Because again, you can't teach authenticity, and those kind of conversations are a trademark that people have just really come to love and gravitate to. Meanwhile, I have to play this because it really is disturbing, actually. Jessica Tisch, who is a tremendous New York City police commissioner, she is now saying, and she's not the type of person who tries to go through fear mongering, or any kind of hyperbole. But here she's talking about that she is now seeing a threat environment like she has never seen before in all her years with the force. And this is something that we absolutely should be paying attention to. Cut number 10, go.
I began my career building out the NYPD's counterterrorism capabilities. And in my 18 years in government, I have not seen a threat environment quite like this one, where multiple pressures are active at the same time and where developments abroad can have immediate consequences here at home. Just last week, a commander for Kataib Hezbollah, a designated foreign terrorist organization aligned with Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, was charged with helping direct 18 attacks and plots against Jewish and American targets overseas since hostilities began in Iran on February 28th. And he allegedly tried to bring that terror here to New York City. According to the complaint, he sent a map, photograph, and identifying information for a New York synagogue to someone that he believed could carry out that attack.
Wow. So when Jessica Tisch says she's never seen a threat environment like this, be vigilant, people, because something's going to blow at some point. I hate to ever say things like that, but it just seems like there's too much going on here with obviously what's going on in Iran, the Middle East, but more importantly, the anti-Semitism and the hate directed at Jews. It's getting to a boiling point, and obviously the mayor, who should be full-throated about this stuff and in terms of condemning it, doesn't seem to mind all that much. And here, by the way, people are having just enough of this guy already. Here we are only, 6 months into this administration, and already now we had a massive protest outside of Gracie Mansion. Many Jews coming there saying that it's just not safe for us here anymore, demanding more from Memdani, even Muslims showing up here as well. And whoa, boy, wasn't this refreshing. Chants of NYPD outside of Memdani's residence. Remember, the same Memdani who called everybody in the New York City Police Department racist and anti-queer. And no, now he's evolved. He doesn't think that anymore. Yeah, he just wanted to win an election. That's why he took that back. Anyway, cut number 9, go.
Let's thank our NYPD for keeping us safe. Every single community deserves to feel safe, and we will never demonize those who are working day and night to make sure we do. Thank you, NYPD. NYPD! 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 NYPD!
Well, beats Death to America and Free Palestine. That's certainly for sure. And I honestly think, look, if you ever want a Republican or a non-Democrat to win again, let's say somebody who runs as an independent, fine, we'll take it. Jessica Tisch should run for mayor. And I think she'd win. I think she has such credibility. And obviously, crime is still a very, very big deal. And Memdani would have no answers if his own police commissioner decided to run against him. Right? Because you can't run the guy that's run on the Republican side the last 2 times and has lost by something like a combined 48. I'm sorry, let's see, 40 in the first one to Adams, and then another 40, I guess, to Memdani. So let's not run the guy who just wants to get on TV a lot again, who has no shot of winning whatsoever. Right? Run a Jessica Tisch, right? Just like Giuliani, top cop, attorney general, ran and won. That's the only way you win these elections. Let's get the charlatans out of there and get serious people in to run either on the Republican side or as an independent. That's certainly for sure. Oh boy, before we go to break, hey, why don't we go back to the Jaxson Dart story? I can't get enough of it. Dan Dakic, he's over at Outkick. going off on Abdul Carter. Remember, Abdul Carter was the fellow first-round draft pick, along with Jaxson Dart, who decided to go to Twitter for whatever reason and call out Dart for introducing Trump instead of, being a man, just picking up a phone and saying, hey, buddy, and voicing your disagreements privately and not airing that stuff in public. But anyway, here is Dan going off on Abdul. And boy, this is pretty brutal. Cut number 3, go.
So you go to New York, you're the quarterback of the Giants. The president wants you to introduce him. You do it 1,000 out of 1,000 times, and you tell anybody that doesn't like it, including your teammates, to suck it. It is literally that simple. Well, one of the dumbest people in the draft was a guy a year ago named Abdul Carter. He's an idiot out of Penn State that the Giants stupidly took. He was mediocre because that's what highly talented morons do. They played mediocre. How do I know that Abdul Carter is a moron? Here's his tweet criticizing. Thought this was AI. What we doing, man? What we doing, dumbass? Is introducing the president of the United States, you moron.
Oh, wow. Okay. That went well for Abdul Carter. Like, this whole thing's going to be forgotten by the time the season starts. And when the Giants open against the Cowboys, who they never play well against, and they play against the Rams, who are probably the best team in the league. Yeah, I can't see Seattle. They won't. They can't. No. Repeat. We can't have Seattle. They're too nondescript. I got to have... Well, my Bears obviously would be nice. Bears, Rams Super Bowl. Yeah, I could live with that, I think. Except I can't because they're both in the NFC. All right, Bears, Bills. Perfect. Yeah, Rams, Bills. That would be a good color game. Anyway, I'm going off in the usual tangent on this Wednesday night on Concha at Night. We wrap this puppy up in just a moment.